Right. And here we have Michael Connolly from Xyratex.
Thank you.
Hit it, man.
Thank you. No, actually, I think I'm the last one that's like standing between everybody and dinner. And it happens a lot. It seems every place I go, every time we're doing presentations, we're always the last one because I think our company's starting with an X. That's right. We're going to do reverse order next year, so the vendors actually go in reverse order. That's right. That's right. So everybody have a good time today. Everybody get all of your information, have some very informative presentations. So I'm going to try and be brief. I have, I think, less than 32 slides. Hey, how come my thing's not working?
Oh, it's probably because I screwed something up.
Use the arrows? Does it work?
If you don't mind.
No, that's good. Well, as all you guys are very well aware, number one, as Xyratex, we are here to sell you something. So just want to make sure that you guys understand that we do make our money by selling and having you guys buy our products. Petascale computing and the applications around that, obviously data from an exponential growth standpoint is very common to everyone in the room. But applications themselves and the reliance on computational types of statistical analysis and those constructs that all of you and most of the users out there are becoming reliant on are giving rise to storage that has to have higher throughput, has got to have the capabilities for high availability. Traditional storage systems, in some cases, are very, very not capable of that based on the fact that they do not scale up and out appropriately. As the nodes are added linearly, it is not scaling in the same way. The compute, the network interconnects, everything does not scale along with the storage. So individual components are difficult and you'll have bottlenecks in that regard. That was one of the driving forces on some of the solutions that we actually created at Xyratex. So some common threads among all of those applications, and those applications that were on the previous slide, we are very focused on those verticals and those specific applications. We have recently, within the last year, designated specific individuals that are focusing on those vertical markets in regards to solutions that we actually create. So some very common threads among all of those are that higher throughput, that higher availability, reliability in those systems themselves. Okay. So, a little help wanted signs. Okay. So Xyratex as an organization, we have a very unique understanding. We've been around for over 25 years. Xyratex, based on our understanding, has started in the market where we actually do a lot of the testing methodologies for the hard drive vendors. You can see from this slide that over 18% of the worldwide drives have shipped through us. 50% are tested through us. We work directly with all the hard drive vendors, including Seagate, Western Digital, Fujitsu, Toshiba. All of these guys rely on us. They buy test equipment from us that are in their labs. In addition to the enterprise storage solutions that we actually create based on the information that we get from them on what we should be doing within these environments. This also comes from the aspect of commitment to the community. This is a very, very important point to bring up. We are where we are in creating solutions and what we have been able to do over the last 25 years by listening to you as customers, the community, and the vendors and our partners. We work directly with Intel, with all of the hard drive vendors that are out there, with Mellanox, the interconnect vendors. We make sure that we have regular aspects to this. We were early supporters of the OpenSFS, came on board as a promoter member as the first entry point. We helped drive the three organizations that existed prior to the OpenSFS and the integration and that unification of those guys. I think it was, 2 years ago? The unification took place after the Orlando LUG meeting. Okay, so cornerstone of storage, you can read this at your leisure. Okay, we're actually going to provide copies of this presentation, but again, we have been in business for a very, very long time. We are driving very committed and very, very committed to not only the community, but the advancement of Lustre, the advancement of storage solutions in areas of those verticals, big data, cloud, all the areas that are really a focus and HPC itself and focusing on those types of areas that you guys are as well. Okay. This is a very good slide to show not only with the OpenSFS and the UFS and that commitment, but we actually are driving an Exascale IO group with the UFS that is led by Dr. Peter Brahm as the entity that is involved from our organization. We helped found that. We actually are doing from the integration of Lustre. We chose Lustre based on its capabilities, based on those requirements early for what's going to be required in Petascale and Exascale computing. This is a very good slide to bring up to you to show in the aspect of what I was saying and listening to the customer where we had built upon in 25 years. We started off with the modular enclosures and building upon those and adding intelligence to those, which we call embedded server modules, putting the compute, making those JBODs essentially intelligent. We built upon those early modular enclosures that we had created. Building upon those intelligent storage and application platforms and embedded storage platforms, we built into an integrated appliance with the ClusterStor solution. This is an integrated, includes the Lustre, the operating system, the file system, the compute, storage, all in one aspect in an appliance that can actually be scaled out linearly across the board. So getting rid of that bottleneck that I had mentioned earlier. Okay, so this is a nice marketing slide for you guys. All right, this is a good slide to show you exactly what we're talking about for where ClusterStor came from. Traditional, come back. Okay, so traditional Lustre design included where you had all the separated components. So you can see from the gas gauges at the top, the network I/O, the compute and RAM, and the spindles for the hard drives, all scaled separately. So as these were integrated together, okay, basically ClusterStor takes all of those separated components, integrates them into one appliance where everything is included, easier manageability from this standpoint. So you have one management interface to manage the compute, the storage, network I/O, everything. And by doing this, you can see from a standpoint, just getting through that a little bit quicker, the gas gauge at the top. As this scales, as you add additional what we call scalable storage units and additional racks, you're scaling everything at the same time linearly. So you're getting rid of that bottleneck from a throughput standpoint. Okay, ClusterStor Manager actually comes with the ClusterStor solution, so it is a one pane of glass interface to manage everything across the board. So going back to that previous slide, we're covering all those areas that are really required from a standpoint going into the future that are required by HPC applications, some of the big data applications, but many of those Petascale applications that we showed in the first couple of slides. These are some additional benefit slides you can see. This is some of the success stories that we've had in the industry. We're getting more and more of these every day. Some of you guys in the room are very familiar with us. Some of you guys are working directly with us already. Okay, and before I say that, so we again are very, very committed. We believe in the Lustre. And while you guys are all here, make sure that you come by and get one of our t-shirts. So we actually brought for you guys can all have for free. So long live Lustre. Now you guys get to go eat dinner.
Okay, let's just take a moment and have a round of applause for all of our sponsors who have managed to make this happen. So thank you all. And thanks to everyone here for having made it through day one. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 8 a.m., including Galen Shipman.